welcome returning and new subscribers. Getting closer and closer and closer to that Lionsgate peak. A lot of changes are happening. A lot of the inevitable is occurring. So it's a wonderful time to be present, alive, a part of the change, a part of the shift. But as you can all see from the title, during this Lionsgate right now, we had Mercury enter the sign of Virgo, which is where it's actually exalted. We also have Mars squaring Saturn, effective as of yesterday, but it's more at a exact position tomorrow, and it's active 2 to 3 days before and after. We also have Venus trining Neptune. And I know a lot of you recall if you've been following. Well, now we ain't gonna do the following thing over here on some real shit. If you have been vibing with this channel, one of the readings not too long ago was mentioning any confusion that was set the middle of July. You'll be able to gain clarity about all of that energy now. Okay. However, you are always in control of you, right? Granted, at the planet shift, but that which is above you is also below. That which is without of you is also within you. So the same way these planets shift within the cosmos, within the universe, you are also shifting. But the beauty of the shift within you is that you have the control because you're the driver. You're the driver of this vehicle that you see as a vessel. Okay, so welcome. Source and I had to have a beautiful one-on-one this last couple days. As always, collective has work to do. You know what I'm saying? You have work to do. But welcome. Okay. So let's get into it. So we have Mars entering Virgo. And Mercury loves being in the sign of Virgo. It's one of its rulers. It's one of the signs that is connected to Mercury along with Gemini. Okay. So this placement, Mercury in Virgo, is going to help you a lot with your business, managing, organizing, putting the work in when it comes to attention to detail, putting things in order when it comes to your life and the environment around you. Then we have Mars squaring Saturn, which will help you to get rid of old habits, which will actually assist you with, I say the word actually a lot. Anyway, Mars squares Saturn, okay, is going to help you to get rid of old habits, which will add to Mercury entering the sign of Virgo to assist you with being organized. Okay. Anything that has been limiting you, there will be a shift in that. Whenever you're speaking out about false evidence appearing real, there's going to be quite the challenge for those fears. Not for you, for those fears. Well, it can go either way depending on where you're at. Okay, with Mars squaring Saturn. It can go either way. You can be the one that's being fought, or you could be the one that's handling the false evidence appearing real. Just know that with Mars squaring Saturn, as of the energy kicked in as of the 4th, and you'll sense it till the 9th. So we're operating through this vibe throughout the Lion's Gate, especially when it becomes exact within 3 days. So you have that energy of frustration and anger. And a lot of you who are familiar with your human design, you know you're not in alignment. You'll see that you're not in alignment when there's frustration or anger. Okay, so be very mindful of that. Now, there could also be conflict when it comes to authority figures, whatever that means to you. This could be your folks, this could be anyone who feels like they have authority over you. This could be a boss, manager. So this is really that type of moment where you want to, knowing what's going on, you want to really move like the observer, so you don't get wrapped up in the energy and it makes you frustrated or angry. You know what I'm saying? Granted, you are a human being you are, okay, a divine being having a human experience. So there are things that you are stripping yourself from so that way you can step into a much higher cosmic vibration, right? So don't stress yourself out if you're not able to make certain deadlines or meet certain deadlines. Okay, because this is really that vibe of breaking the rules. Now, rules and laws are two different things. Okay. Cosmic power, universal law is the embodiment of universal being or universal power. It just is. And the laws help you, universal laws help you through that guidance, helps you through guidance of what this power is. Okay, to bring you to center or wherever it is that must be. More than likely center. Then we have Venus trine and Neptune. Now this energy, okay, kicks in even more so on the 7th. It's active as of right now, and it will be active 2 days after its exact moment. So that's the 9th as well, where you can find yourself being more in love, emotionally secure, abundant, being more connected to people that you love. You know what I'm saying? Being in this vibe of feeling and receiving tenderness, empathy, being more aware of the emotional condition or circumstance of your current environment or whomever's in that environment. Okay. So granted, we have Mars square and Saturn. We also got these other two energies around it assisting. So now Mars, Mercury, and Venus, these are all internal planets. And I'm going to add another one that I didn't put in the title is Venus opposing Pluto on the 8th, which is active 2 days before. So that will start as of tomorrow. Venus in opposition with Pluto. Okay, you could feel really passionate about doing something with your partner if you are with someone, or this could be with yourself, that divine feminine and masculine within yourself. Being in love with a strong, powerful being. So now you see how Mars square and Saturn conflict with authority figures. Now, these conflicts with authority figures or somebody that is of power can also have the duality as to the energy you may find yourself connecting with, because this is a part of you that's also, everything is feedback. Let's just put it that way. It's all feedback. So everything that is a challenge or everything that has to do with joy and abundance, is that those are all things that are within you. These are seeds that are planted within you. When you see it outside in your external environment, is because it has gone through a process for it to actually be visible to you. Okay. So we're going to see what the message is. Okay. For the remainder of this week, going into the weekend, this energy will definitely be timeless as well, regardless of what placements are going on right now. But let's see what y'all got going on. Okay, what source got going on for you? I connect my heart and soul, beloved, to Mama Universe and Papa Universe. I connect my heart and soul to my angels, spirit guides, ancestors that guide and protect me. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of the gods and goddesses that flow through me as me for you and I collected to use our mind's eye to see. Always in connection to the Most High. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Don't forget to wash your hands upon entering this live by liking the video. I appreciate your cleanliness, which is the next thing to godliness. Okay. So let's go ahead and see what's going on. I'm going to start with my cards first, actually. Let's see what we got going on. Yes, indeed. I read your comment the other day too. I hope you meant that you doing the opposite to what you said. Now you said what you say, that you unfollowed, had everyone unfollow you, but you're still following them. You better not be doing that. That's the complete opposite of what I do over here on this side now. Okay, but you're welcome though. Feel like you meant the opposite of that. If not, you better fix that shit. We have here first card on out. Now this stagnation due to surrounding energies. Mm. Mm. Careful reconsideration of plans, release of guilt to restore balance. Definitely in alignment to what we got going on with these placements, Ashe. But that what you commented is actually doing the opposite. What you commented is doing the opposite of what you just wrote there. Okay. So we have here improve, reconstruct, organize. Need fire, necessity. She knows what she put. She knows what she put. Necessity, restraint, innovation, life lessons, urgency, consequence of actions. Now, that word consequences is a word you really want to look at. Con and a sequence. Actions that happen after being a con. Telling you, me and Source had a major sit down. Major sit down. This planet is about to do some things, y'all. If you are not prepared, and the way you are prepared is through unconditional love, get rid of all that stuff where you find yourself, you think you're balancing things out, but you're actually bringing in more karmic lessons to your life. Just be more mindful. Be more mindful as to what it is that you do, who you have around you, especially if you observe what they do. Is it in alignment with what it is that you're doing? And be more than okay with disconnecting from what you must disconnect from. Okay. This card also speaks of primal truth. the necessity to go through a certain level of discomfort for growth, the necessity to experience a certain level of comfort for growth, the necessity to experience a certain level of discomfort for growth. A lot of times, where that discomfort comes in, you'll find yourself blaming somebody else for it. But there is a way to you know, come to a space of clarity with yourself, even if there has been some injustice done towards you. Especially if you are a powerful being. Now I'm speaking to my very powerful beings, my high priests, my high priestesses, my gods, my goddesses, the emperors, empresses, kings and queens developing into such. Because it's been quite the journey. Or for some of you who are embarking on this now, it's going to be quite the journey. But everything that you must know is through that process. Do not rush it. Do not rush it. Time is an illusion. Everything you experience is part of the fine art that you are becoming. That bigger picture, yeah. I had a moment today where I was sitting here. Look at this, the white mirrors that is under this card here, which speaks of the power of endlessness through the action of reflecting. Sitting here and I'm just like, I'm grateful because I'm touching my physical self because I can feel my soul speaking now. The soul is omnipresent. It can go wherever it wants to go, but I feel the essence in this vessel doing the same. That is what ascension is all about. You can find yourself wherever you want to be. Align yourself with whatever, with wherever you want to be. Okay. So just be mindful that the way this wonderful planet is moving right now, she out here moving like Mercury. Earth, as we know it, is an element. Earth itself is actually an element. The other planets give off the energy or the frequency of the others, but Earth itself is an element. We reside on an element. See, Mercury gives off the energy of air, gives off the element of air. Which is spirit, which is the thought. What was that? So, the planet connected to the white mirror is Neptune, connected to the solar plexus chakra as well. The essence of order. So if you are a white mirror galactic signature, this is a beautiful moment for you while Mercury is in the sign of Virgo. Your essence has a lot to do with order, putting things in order through reflecting or reflections. Now, a lot of your reflections, as I mentioned before, is going to have a lot to do with that which is being presented to you in the physical. And this is what I mean about handling situations in a way, you can still be that spiritual warrior, but at the same time know that there are actions based off an action that you take. Energy can be created and destroyed. It's just going to keep being transmuted or transformed. All right. The next thing you got here is, look at that, yeah. Some of you are about to really step into an initiation process of becoming a healer. And the card that's peeping through here with these other two in between the healer is divine intervention. Yeah, Jupiter is retrograde, is on its way back to Pisces now. Jupiter's on its way back to Pisces. Neptune is in Pisces. If you want to talk about ethereal energy and connecting to different portals, this is why I said be mindful. You watch Jupiter ascending, and yeah, that movie is amazing, ain't it? It definitely gives the message of knowing the I am that I am and standing in the essence. Yes. I love that movie too. Ashe. You on it. Ashe. We have here under this card, the healer. Your experience is reminding you of who and all that you are. To settle is to stop learning. And then you have past life here. In the past life, a lot of you have the power of magic. That's the reason why you connect to me. This ain't my first go around doing this. And the way these placements are set up right now is for you to clear out any karma or any wounds that you have connected to your past life when it comes to using your ability. You hear that shit now. 909. And that's another reason why I sat here earlier and I was just in so much gratitude because I said, I'm here again, but I don't have to worry about being misjudged or someone saying, no, you can't do this. Now the earth requires it to be here. The earth said enough is enough. Especially when you're doing it for a reason to do this. If you're doing it to do this, oh, that journey can be quite brutal. If you're not doing it to do that, granted, becoming this with the assistance of this, to become this healer with the assistance of divine intervention, there's a lot you're going to have to destroy first. But this is your first lesson. The way you handle yourself in the process of destruction. Will you actually be that tornado or will you be the eye of the storm? Because becoming the eye of the storm will allow you to know exactly where you're supposed to go as that tornado, what needs to be wiped out, or you can cause havoc and clear up the whole shit, which is also a possibility. And when it comes to nature, it's not really so much havoc, because if that actually happens, because humanity has gone too far. So before humanity even thinks, because that's what Earth been telling me, before humanity even thinks they're gonna destroy me, they'll know who's who. They'll know exactly who's who. And she's receiving the assistance of the other planets now. Let's not forget all of the other mamas out there. So this one speaks of the beginning and end are set. What's in between is yours. Nothing is in vain. All is remembered. We're not talking about just this lifetime. This is what I mean. A lot of you came back from a moment where you was around me in another lifetime too. Ashe. See? That's why I love the tools that are provided for the collective. And this is also why I say ignorance is not bliss. Because there's a lot of information out there where your soul, once your eyes, these eyes, the window, one of the windows of your soul sees what you're looking at, you'll get that nudge like, remember now? You remember now? What's up, baby? You remember now? Or do I have to keep reminding you? Because if I have to keep reminding you, you don't have to worry about the discomfort of another human being. I will stir up your spirit. That's how the universe connects to the soul. Stirring up the spirit and letting you know that all of that is one. I've been a part of this illusion for too long to even fathom that the shit's separate. So we got blue monkey, baby. Blue monkey. And then we got white mirror, 1118. Now, 1118 will be Venus in Scorpio, 7 of Cups. A lot of information is coming through your dream state. And like I said, it's going to. Jupiter is actually the ancient ruler of Pisces. So it's like Pisces right now, the energy of Pisces, which is the two fishes, which will be power and sorrow. I feel like the two fishes, the power one will be Jupiter and the sorrow one will be Neptune, but you can also flip it however you want, because Dr. B series went off yesterday on Black Magic. I kid you not. Every time I have these moments where I either do a live with y'all or I'm just here vibing the way I vibe out with me in the universe, there's always plenty of confirmations that come through, and they always come from either Rod Hayes or Dr. B in the most beautiful way. Dr. Phil Valentine too. Okay? And it's just, he said it perfectly. He was like, water can break a building down or wash a baby's bottom. I said, nailed it. That was it. That's it right there. That's the same energy the feminine has. The sacred feminine has. Now, the sacred feminine journey can be quite a testing journey. You may find yourself doing things in the past that you may be ridiculed for later on, but not advised, not advised at all. Not advised at all for any of those who decide to, want to say certain things or make you look a certain way. They better be mindful, because they don't know what you're here for. For all they know, you're literally here to see if they're going to sit here and do the fuckery shit that they thought they was going to do or think they going to do and get away with it. I'm saying that shit from experience. Even before the point I even step fully into this gift. And some of you step into your gift because it's a siren call. Because the world ain't the way it's supposed to be right now. So they got to call the first responders back in. Shut you out of this entire life you thought you was going to live to bring your ass to the work you were really intended to do. While you're really here, because for all we know, Earth, because what I'm about to say, it was more so to the effects of, we come from a higher dimension. Those of you who are on your journey too. You come from a higher dimension, you're awakening and remembering what that is. But Earth was already that way until inorganic beings come in and decide that they want to take over certain things. And the way to take over a civilization is through their belly and through their mind. It's a wrap. Welcome, Fatima. And the sand was blowing and hitting her like a Ashe. So the blue monkey speaks of the power of magic through the action of play. So that in order for you to fully connect to this energy here of the blue magic, when it says play, that inner child cannot be wounded. I mean, it can be, but you have to be the one to patch up the wounds. Okay. Through the essence of illusion, which is imagination, through the planet Venus. So the way you patch up these wounds, blue monkey, is through Venus core values. So there may be things that you would have to literally disconnect from as far as what you've been lied to about. So you can now speak your truth because you're connected to the throat chakra. Brought you to tears, Ashe. You'll know where you're at when it comes to the frequency of this planet because you'll feel her. You'll feel her. Without a question, you'll feel you will feel her. Okay. Let's look at these God energies that are coming through here. This just speaks of fix the shit yourself. It was under that was outlaw. Fix the shit yourself. That's what Lucifer energy is. Fix the shit yourself. What is the energy here? Wow. This could be about your son, a son that you're about to have, or this could be a son that you had in a past life, or this could be the son. Wow. Let's see what else is coming up here. Or if you do have a son, your son is an emissary for all of these ascended masters. So pay attention to the messages that your son has to say. This could even be a nephew. This could even be someone else's son that walks up to you, while you're out running errands or you doing your thing. Let's see. My beloved divine. Sufi and my beloved divine. Immediately, I just felt this presence of an ancestor, okay, who is an ascended master, who connects to your son, specifically to your son. Then I feel like this son could be from a newborn, because a newborn could literally look in a direction and just be staring in a particular direction, and they can let you know a lot. You know what I'm saying? So this could be from a newborn to about 6 years old that I'm getting from this card. 6, 7 years old. Newborn to 6, 7 years old. God is telling him things. I'm always listening. Ashe. And my beloved divine with the Sufi's energy. Okay. Let's see here. Sufi knows that when we fastidiously hold on to orthodoxy, we can become imprisoned by it, often imprisoning everyone else in our immediate surroundings too. And I just saw that card from the Starseed Oracle where it says uprooting. I'm sorry. Because a lot of you here are picking up the slack from people who decided not to do the work because subconsciously, see, in the age of Pisces, people had that opportunity to choose not to. Unfortunately, in this age of Aquarius, you don't have that option. Because choosing not to means that you're choosing to step into the realms of conditional love, not unconditional love. And this planet now doesn't want anything other than unconditional love. So that which is not of that, it's got to go. It's got to go. Because she's tired of that. Especially, let's just put it this way. The earth is tired of conditional love. And we're sitting here walking on her the entire time with this ignorance. I'm not saying y'all, but the ones who do. So think about if you have this energy of unconditional love, which some of you experience, but you experience it from 1, 2 people, 3 people, it could be 20 people, try billions. And see what type of moment of clarity you have where you say enough is the fuck enough. The universe, as within, so without. And a lot of what allows people to move that way are those without the universe within them, without a soul. What else? I'm going straight to the tarot cards right after this. Actually, no, I'm going to go to these cards over here I have over there. Over here I have over there. Whatever. These cards I have over here, over there. Where is it? Here and there. You see? The Green Man, Resurrection, Guardian of Gaia. Ooh, look, because she said, pause it right here. She said, look, Guardian of Gaia, Ra, Archangel. And the sun looking real different. We've been talking about this. The sun looking well different right now. Okay. Why? Because there needs to be this activation of all of these chakras. And I know you see that 8th one. You got the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye. Actually, the 8th one is all of this. That's what it's time to open up to. The opening of that would mean the recognition of it. This is where you're now. Saturn. Hi. I just felt my Gemini energy. I felt you, honey. I felt you. Hi. Wow. Blessings and love. I felt that. I love you. I'm in a league with angels. See that? It looks like someone crossing the finish line. I love you too. Crossing the finish line, but the race isn't over. There is no finish line. But there's definitely a moment of celebration, infinite celebration. And we have the magician and Shiva right up under that with Buddha. Do you see the type of energy this card just, that was like the tower moment. So we gonna see what's going on here. As a matter of fact, let me see where the tower is at in this deck right now. Let me see where the tower is right now. Let's see where the tower is right now. Because now we're speaking of the galactic center when we speak of the tower. Ah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. You can't make this shit up. You got Mars and Pluto right here. And Venus is going to be opposing Pluto. We have Nine of Cups here, which speaks of emotional fulfillment. Well, a wish being fulfilled. You're about to realize the value of you walking away from patterns that have no infinite source, like you see here. This keeps going and going and going and going and going and going and going. The arches keep forming because the angles keep being connected. Archangel. Okay. And we have the tower in between the Nine of Cups and the Death card. You have to go through a transformation to receive this here abundance, beloved. And the moment you decide to step into this path of the transformation is because you know who you are, the I am that I am. And this is by you trusting what's in your heart, because the Emperor or Mars energy does what it wants to do. And it brings balance to the Emperor that brings balance to the Empress, or Venus energy rather, where Venus is doing what others wants it to do. But when you have that balance between Venus and Mars, because Venus has done the work with Jupiter to seek the truth as to what it is that it wants to do based on reciprocity, to not overextend itself, it now steps into this power. So let's see what the tarot spread is going to say here for us here. Thank you, beloved. Thank you. So again, let me go over this message here for y'all. Mercury has entered Virgo. All right. And Mercury is exalted in this sign, which will help you with managing and organizing. Mars square and Saturn. This is basically from now to the middle of next week is where these energies are going to be present. Mercury, however, that's about 6 weeks. Wait a minute. Because Mars is going into Gemini, and it's going to be there for quite a while. Yeah, Mercury will be in Virgo up until the 9th of October. Then it enters Libra. But before it does that, it will be going retrograde. On the 23rd of September. Now something about Mars. This Mars in Gemini, because Mars in Gemini, let's be aware of that also. Mars in Gemini, it represents the Nine of Swords. So, with this full moon coming up, okay, in Aquarius, it'll have a major connection to your South Node, Uranus, and Mars. So this is what I mean, where a lot you have the opportunity to really clear up a lot when it comes to past life and to connect to your abilities in this life. Because the past signature is present in this life signature, especially if you are an archangel out here. You come here all the time, and it's basically like you came back to Earth on tour, okay? Basically just to rebuild things and see the way things are functioning, and see what's not functioning, starting with self, because that's the only way you'll be able to connect further to things outside of you that have to go through a particular function. Okay, so we're gonna see what else we have here. Okay, let's see what's going on. Look at that, the Lover's card, speaking of Gemini. Mercury enters Virgo, Mars squares Saturn, getting rid of old habits, changing the limiting rules, active fight with your fears. The downside to that would be frustration or anger, possible situations at your job. And I feel like those situations are designed to get you to get into your work. Okay. Then we have Venus trine Neptune, which brings love into the picture. And this can help clear up any confusion, as I mentioned before, that may have stirred up, during the middle of July 14th exact. Closing out the South Node, yep. Closing it out to put the tail with the head now. Putting the tail with the head. Bringing that dragon together. Picking up that rod. Picking up that rod that becomes a serpent. What's the current situation here, beloved, for the collective? Wow. Picking up that rod and victory and success. Look how these two came out. Six of Wands and the Nine of Wands. The Six of Wands speaks of Jupiter and Leo, and we have the Moon and Sag with Nine of Wands, but this is what I mean about picking up that rod, and this is that South Node symbol too. Being able to pick up the rod by surrendering to your path, your mission, designed specifically for you by the universe. Now, some literally have a mission to cause confusion. And for some of you, part of your task is to be able to decipher that. Because if you encounter it, this is a moment for you to observe you as to where that confusion is within you, that it's showing up in your physical reality. With the Six of Wands here, it speaks of victory and success, but I really feel that this has a lot to do. You see how high up you are? And how these people that are celebrating you are in the shadow. This is you coming out that dark night of the soul in a much different way, where it's like, okay, whenever you experience a challenge from here on out, it's not something you would have to go through the dark night of the soul for. You shouldn't have to do that anymore. Once you got into this level of realizing what that means, and the reason why I say you shouldn't be having to go through the dark night of the soul anymore is because you now know that your higher self and your physical self are one. The mind, body, spirit, and soul are one. That's if you have the soul now. Let's keep that in mind. Because that part of you that connects to something outside of you that makes you do this type of shit is like, okay, this is where you're seeing the way that you're disconnected from all of you. Okay, so let me continue with these cards here and see what's going on. I'm not even going to do a Celtic spread. Look at that, the Six of Pentacles. So we got 696. Let me look at this number here, 696. 696 speaks of hiding place, treachery, deceit. I feel like that has to do with self. This could be waiting to do something that you don't have to wait for. So I feel like, yeah, we're speaking to gods and goddesses here. You don't have to wait for anything as a creator, especially if you have all of the tools already. And you'll know when you have all the tools, because you'll start second guessing yourself about what you're supposed to do next, especially in this realm of duality that's becoming non-duality, you know? So let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, the High Priestess. She snapped. Like the High Priestess snapped on top of the Nine of Wands. Shay. Moving to LA is 9:39 on the clock right now, okay? The Six of Wands, Nine of Wands with the High Priestess. You've mastered illusions that flow through the mind. Mastering illusions that flow through the mind. Reconnecting with your passion, because we have a lot of fire energy here. We got Leo and we got Sag. Fifth house, ninth house. Fifth house speaks of I will. The ninth house speaks of I seek. I will seek. I seek and I will. The High Priestess is basically in between the heavens and the earth. So the seeking that you've been doing here had a lot to do with connecting with those in your shadow that really show you all about you. Because in the shadow is where you find a lot of your gifts. The shadow is where you're finding your gifts. Because you're becoming extremely uncomfortable. Now, when we speak of shadow, there's some form of light still present because there's a shadow. So it's not completely dark. It can become completely dark based on your perception of what you feel that darkness is. So it's like you can even change the intensity of what you're able to view through the lens. And as you change that dial of what you're able to see through the lens, you begin to find out you have another point of vision, the mind's eye, which is the main source of the soul. Okay? Because this is where you're able to imagine a lot of things. Notice what you do when you have, look at that, the star at the bottom of the deck. Notice what you do when you have access to a shadow. You start to make all these different types of images and shit. At the top of the deck, you got the Queen of Pentacles with that peacock. Ooh, okay. You know exactly what it is that you want, because you know you have it. When you know what you want, you already have it. When you know what you want, you already have it. Say that again. When you know what you want, it's because you already have it. For you to say that out your mouth, or for you to even go through a visualization process to even see that, because you already have it. If you can't see it, you can't visualize it, then that's something you got to work on. Ashe. It's time. It's been time. Time is art. We are the art. What else we got here? What's this? Ooh. I feel like it's as soon as I saw that it was in reverse, Based off of what I just said, some of you, your lack of confidence has to do with the lack of courage, which means the lack of your connection to your heart space. The moment you connect to your heart, that means you're connecting to what it is that you love to do. Queen of Pentacles here at the bottom. Let's see why is let me clarify that with another spread here. I definitely said I was gonna use that deck, but look at that. Split the deck, we got the devil card here. But this could also have to do with this again. This is about you doing what you're supposed to do for you, the way you want to do it, without restrictions or without any authority figure telling you that you can't do this way or that way, especially when you know that you're not doing anything to harm anyone. But you'll stop yourself from doing certain things because you're more focused on what other people are thinking, rather than connecting yourself to what tools you have available for you to use, because this is Capricorn 10th house, speaking of I use. And the 10th house is also connected to your midheaven. Okay. Now, for some of you, the lack of courage is deeply embedded within ancestral wounds, which is why we have this Nine of Wands here in the middle of this spread, in between the High Priestess and the Six of Wands. And this is what I mean, like, there's certain parts of the mystery, the emotion, the water that flows through you, that has a story that you may not be aware of. And it's through films, which is Neptune energy, where you begin to gain clarity about it. Never underestimate the power of art, a film, a song to connect to you, where it allows you to release the waters that have been basically clogged in you. Okay. Why is the Strength card in reverse here? Look at that. Who's not ready? You not ready to receive? This feels like a manifestation of unconditional love, supreme unconditional love, but still being trapped in past wounds. Because this would be 15 right here. So it's like bringing forth what's in the imagination forward through the feeling of it, constantly feeling like you already there. You know, this is why I say don't underestimate the power of something that you can see, the illusion of something and the way it translates into a feeling. You got illusions and you got delusion. See, the fear part comes into play with delusion. Created from the illusion. Okay. Let's see why else this is here. Tell me more about this Ace of Cups coming out, clarifying the Strength card here. Some of you are rejecting. Look at this shit again. Why is the Devil card here? Page of Wands. This could be a younger fire sign. For some of you, your intuition is either telling you to not connect with a younger fire sign. The other message is, off of that, is don't rush into it. This feels like deja vu right now. The entire moment, even him screaming outside. 947. What is 947? Huh. Oh. This could also be a Capricorn as well, coming in to boost up your confidence. It comes across as an offer of work. Look at that. To 947 says to tread down, reject. So this could be someone who possibly rejected you in the past, that you can still be harboring that energy, creating this Nine of Wands energy, Moon in Sagittarius. But the Moon in Sagittarius also speaks of looking at the bigger picture, focusing on the bigger picture, connecting to that ego energy of yourself, seeing what's going on straight on, but also seeing the wider view. What else is this here? Wow. The Queen of Wands came out here flying in reverse. And then the Knight of Wands, which is Sagittarius. Before I say anything here, Aries Sagittarius here. You know the truth about who you are and what has caused certain blocks in your life, or where you may have rejected opening yourself to unconditional love. It had something to do with the lack of courage. We got marriage here as I split the deck. Tell me, you got the Ten of Cups with this puppy at the bottom of it. This puppy love. Little puppy love. Let me tell you something though, okay? You got the part in reverse. So some of you off the rip, you know what you're here to do, but you're not confident in what you're supposed to do, because this card upright speaks about you getting out there, being the part, being the queen, being the king, stepping into your emperor and empress mode, God, goddess energy. So this is basically, taking care of yourself, doing what you must do, grooming yourself so you can get out there. You know what I'm saying? Getting out there so that way you can be seen. Then we have the owl coming through here with communication. Divine timing is at play. Then you got the sun card. And then you have Anubis. So what am I getting from that? The owls have a lot to do with a very fond heart energy, mindful wisdom, harmony as a result of mindful wisdom. Okay? But you can also see why the strength card here comes out in reverse, clarified by these others, because there's a lack in you knowing your true power. And here comes this Sagittarius energy. I am a Sag, delivering this message, letting your ass know, pick up your wand, pick up the rod. Basically, actually, that verse speaks of picking up the snake by the tail, and it turns into a rod, which becomes your wand. Picking up the tail, south node. Okay? Bringing the balance between the head and the tail so you can become whole. 180 degrees. See, some of you could be doing 360s, going in a whole circle, doing the same shit, instead of actually embracing the journey at this 180, where everything is just like beyond the horizon. So the horizon, as you see it, it's a straight line, right? So we're speaking of astrology and that 180 degree, we're speaking of now polar opposites. So this energy here, in order for you to have that strength and courage, you have to have balance with your polar opposite sign when it comes to all parts of your personality. See, some of you may have planets in a particular sign, like a stellium. Let's say if you have a stellium as a Virgo, but you don't really connect to Pisces, you know how out of balance you'll be walking around here. I'm gonna tell you, really out of balance. Really, really, really. Then you have the star card followed by Anubis. Anubis is the guard of the dead. Here's the other message here. Some of you, the reason why you may have restrictions in your life, you have a strong connection to the invisible world just as much as you do the visible world. But I feel like those of you who have that connection to the invisible world, you're being called at this time to step fully into your power because you have the vision. You can see a lot. Plenty. Ashe did the Sanchi today. It's been called. Okay. It's 9:54. That's another 99 again, by the way. So you see all this treasure that lies beneath the surface, similar to what's here. This is what's literally being. They are the ones giving you all this treasure. You in your past life, remembering who you are now. South node bringing it into the north node. Okay. Just got a notification here about the Aquarius full moon. So definitely Aquarius full moon, as we were speaking of Venus and Mars and Jupiter and Venus having the power to do what it wants to do without overextending itself, that's also connected to Venus and Virgo, the overextension of self, where Venus is in Virgo, which is at a fall. Because Venus is all about, it has a beauty due to, it's a beauty in connection to service. But there's also this fine line where there could be too much service provided where it's draining the beauty out of you because you're providing a service to an energy that's not giving back that reciprocity. So that's another thing. 10808 on the time. And that's another thing that's coming clearer to your mind where I was speaking of having a stronger connection with the invisible world as much as you do with the visible world, because there's so much more you can talk about with your ancestors and those you connect to in the invisible world, knowing exactly who they are, not getting tricked, than you would ever have with those in the visible world. Because you're able to travel in between. Okay? And something about this love that comes in is connected to that ability. See the 3 great pyramids there as well. You see it here as well too. So they're showing up. Look at that. The cards just showed me just like this. 8-8. Look at that. 22. Make sure whatever it is that you're building and connections you're building around you connect to your life purpose. This is no longer the moment to be people pleasing. So that's another thing that's being cut at the root. No more doing the people pleasing, especially as you're ascending into higher dimensions, because that doesn't exist there. There isn't a necessity for it. And you overstand that part of it by being in this world of duality to see the difference. But what has been taught that difference or that duality is all there is when there isn't. So a lot of what's changing in the psyche is breaking that mold that's connected to that just being that. It's way more than that. It's amazing how the ignorance operates in this realm with humanity. You go from a sperm cell to having bones and flesh, head, eyes, ears, all that. But you think that's all there is. So let's see what's coming up next. So we have here Jupiter and Leo and the Leo card coming up right up under the Six of Wands. So all you're being asked to have right now is the courage to connect to your confidence, which means leading from the heart. We're getting closer and closer to this Regulus energy now, which is the royal star when it comes to Leo energy. And when we're speaking of any placements in your chart that have to do with 29 degrees, this is where that Regulus energy comes in. It's like you're the shining star, like the sun is also a star type of thing. You're that shining energy where everything you touch turns into gold, because everything that is around you, it surrounds you, grows. Like there is no choice for energies around you to grow, because you are an abundant being. You're an abundant seed. If you're a seed, you shouldn't have no problem being buried either, because you know what? That you're going to rise from that. And you go through a burial process each time you close your eyes at night. Every single moment you go to bed, you go through a burial process. So let's see what else comes up next. You may have to leave some people out in the cold, but it's not that you're leaving them out in the cold. You just have to make a wise, logical decision now based on where you're going, because the way your energy is changing, it's your mind, body, and spirit won't accept it. And 11313, you don't want to go against that. And you're gonna, when you go against what it is that your intuition is telling you to do based on the connection you have to source, you'll feel the difference. Whenever you're talking about ascension symptoms, they feel way different. You can literally feel like that's your last moment. And also pay attention to that as well, as far as like ascension symptoms. You may be experiencing them around the planetary hour of the planet that rules your rising sign. So that way you'll know, when to chill out. So just be mindful that if you're experiencing ascension symptoms or whatever the case may be, where it's like these headaches, where because your DNA is definitely going through these changes the same way the planet is. As within, so without. So let's see what else we got here. What's coming up under the 9 of Wands? To live in those instances and beyond. Yep. Look at that. The Chariot comes out in the center. I'm doing a 9-card spread right now because that's the way it came out. And the Chariot is coming up under the 9 of Wands, basically telling you to move forward. And let me see. Look how the Chariot is looking at the Strength card. Like, if you don't come on, I know you see the Sphinx, which is right in front of the pyramid as well. Your mind and your heart are literally, your ethereal mind and heart is literally telling your physical heart, let's go. What you waiting on? It's like it's daytime, but the sun is still acting like it's nighttime, chilling with Set. Sounds like Saturn, sounds like a restriction. But Saturn is also telling you to go. Saturn's like, I'm not even holding you back. I'm not even holding you back. You holding yourself back. And you want to know how I know you holding yourself back? Because I'm retrograde. I'm taking a nap. Saturn is literally retrograde. So you see, you have no one to blame but thyself. Okay? You got the seven of swords at the bottom of the deck. The seed every night and rise again. Yep. Every night. You get to replenish yourself through Tefnu. You go through a rebirth every day. And this is what the chariot is connected to Cancerian energy. You got the sun and the moon right here. And these two cards represent, if we're speaking of that 180, that polar opposite, that balance with the energies of the spiritual and the physical. These are two physical energies. The spiritual embodiment of Leo is Aquarius. The spiritual embodiment of Cancer is Capricorn. So, what you waiting on? What you waiting on? So, let's not forget Uranus, North Node, Mars are in conjunction in the sign of Taurus. So there's really, it was just 11717. There's nothing holding the self back but the self. Let me grab one of these cards. Before we go into the next message. Because we're not gonna make this reading long. Although we about an hour in, about to get to 2 hours. It's okay though. It's more than okay. Time is an illusion here. I'm telling you, the time over here really be an illusion because it don't be feeling like any of it. Any of it. I be sitting here all the time. When I look at these placements, I just be like, man, the guidance is there, but we just really just be. Look at this one. Look at this one. Energy signature. The past is in the present. I mean, what's the message then? What's this? I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I ain't playing with y'all today. Ascended Master, the High Priestess. We're about to go to the next card that clarifies why the High Priestess is here in connection to her flying and shit. Oh, that was like the Archangel card. Wow. Y'all really in here today. You really in here today. Where you go? Look how the Archangel flying through here too, because these are the cards that we was talking about. But where the Archangel card go? Probably over there with one of y'all. But what was it between the lover and the green man? Oh, that's where it was. Okay, I see you. I see you. So you got Osiris. There's a lot of underworld energy coming through here. What's Osiris, Anubis? Yeah, there really is though. Especially with that portal we have with Sirius still active. Look at this. Look at these two. They out of here. They hear this one telling you, come on, let's go. And now you got your ascended masters popping through here talking about create open communication. Number 2. Hmm. Listen objectively. What's the plan? Throughout time, human beings have looked to spiritual teachers, gurus, and philosophers for guidance and wisdom in their everyday lives. Regardless of religious background or affiliation, people gravitate towards those who have achieved levels of ascension on the physical plane. Philosophers, ascended masters, spiritual gurus, leaders enable those seeking wisdom or higher states of well being and consciousness to connect to something bigger than themselves in this dimensional experience, not to be worshipped, but to open yourself to realizing that that energy is within you, which is why you even seek that outside of you. While there are many ascended masters across the realm of ascension, there are still there are still on differing levels of ascension. These inner planes assist those seeking wisdom, connecting to specific energies such as light rays. And the seven light rays are the following. The first ray connected to the seven chakras too, but here we go. We have the first ray, which is the blue one, which is Master El Moira, which speaks of power, will, faith, and protection in connection to this text. And then we have the second ray, which is yellow, Lord Lanto, which speaks of love, wisdom, and understanding, which is also connected to Bina. Let's continue. Then we have the third ray, which is pink, which speaks of Paul the Venetian, divine love and compassion. Then we have the fourth ray, which is white, which is connected to Serapis Bay, harmony and purity. Then we have the fifth ray, which is green, connected to Hilarion, which speaks of knowledge, wholeness, and abundance. The sixth ray, which is purple and gold, Lady Master Nada, devotion and service. And then we have the seventh ray, which is violet, Saint Germain, which speaks of magic, forgiveness, mercy, and freedom. When working with these frequencies or energies, be sure to always invoke or request the aspects that exist within 100% pure light frequencies. Ascended masters still exist with a dual polarity and still have specific purposes and functions relating to the earthly realm. Right now, you are required to connect to higher wisdom previously shared with the collective purpose. Daily rituals and routines are essential to establish stability through decision making processes. Open your mind and vision to signs and symbols from the ascended master realm. Many masters are associated with animals and symbols. So, that is one of the direct points from my experience, I would say, would be through symbolism. Everything around you is symbolism. That's part of the illusion too. That's how the illusion connected to your imagination and connected to source will present itself to you. The illusion that presents itself to you within the symbol is something that has already been manifested. So if you're having issues with manifestation, it's because you're focused on whatever has already manifested. That's for somebody. Right now, you're required to connect to higher wisdom previously shared with the collective purpose. Daily rituals and routine are essential to establish stability through decision making processes. Open your mind and vision to signs and symbols from the ascended master realm. Many masters are associated with animals and symbols. Pay attention to art and imagery that you may feel emotionally or strongly connected to now as you are being guided divinely. So, this is connected to what we were saying before about paying attention to those energies that bring you joy, but also the ones that help you to release. Be consciously aware that the masters are working behind the scenes in your life to achieve greater outcome. Karmic planning and your unique energetic blueprint requires certain learning experiences and events for you to grow and expand your soul and spirit into a new state of awareness. Karmic planning and your unique energetic blueprint requires certain learning experiences also known as moments of discomfort, also known as unfair situations, also known as heartbreaking relationships, also known as the loss of a home, also known as the loss of a loved one. But they're not really losing anything. You're learning to release yourself from particular language that is not even connected to the actual universal or galactic center's language. Because a lot of these words, even what I'm saying here, you know what I'm saying? This is why I'm always big on words. You feel me? But let's continue. Refusing to be open to new experiences or outcome is the shadow aspect of the ascended master. Connecting with them. The sacred crystal is Hiddenite, and the archangel for this particular card is Archangel Metatron. This is why you in here today, huh? Channeling and higher wisdom is connected to Archangel Metatron. The affirmation is I am a clear channel of divine knowledge. And I love Dr. B series for saying that too, where he says, allow yourself to be what it is that you're affirming. And it just gave me that sparkle. I was like, uh-huh. The allowance is the cause, the gratitude is the effect. So now you're putting yourself in this mental and physical space of wanting to receive that which brings you abundance, love, and joy. Mm. I allow self to be a clear channel of divine knowledge. I allow self to share this wisdom with compassion and confidence. Ashe. Thank you, Ascended Masters. Thank you. Now, let's see what's coming up under here. That Five of Pentacles is coming up. The Six of Cups. Past life energy. Tell me. Okay, so tell me about the Six of Cups before I say what it is. You got the Ace of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck and the Nine of Cups. This is giving me the essence of you being where you're supposed to be in a particular moment in your life where you were supposed to be, but then you have then you had to go through that path to come back around. And you saw how I just did that, like this, right? So there's something that had to be cleared up in the process. There could have been a longer route that you were taking that it was either too long. I don't want to say too long or too short, because that it could have been too long or too short, which wouldn't allow you to see the opportunity being presented to you fully, similar to how we saw the Ace of Cups clarifying the Strength card. Because look at this is how I'm seeing this here. You were where you're supposed to be before, but now you're being pulled back to where you were with the knowledge and the wisdom that you have this time to actually enjoy where you are. So it's like being at the right moment, wrong time, being with the right person, wrong time. You had to develop the high priest, the hierophant energy within you to really clear up these childhood wounds, because your imagination is going to be required where you're going next to receive this opportunity, which I'm getting a sense of your authenticity is like is giving me the Our Lady of Hermits, transforming your pain and suffering into a gift. It's literally looking at your suffering as a gift, which means that you didn't really suffer though. You just went through a process. The words that have been used with amongst humanity, that word suffer can hit you in a different way. But that's the same thing that the earth goes through when you're going like this and digging into the soil to put a seed into it. The soil could also be going through pain and suffering, but is it? No, we don't perceive that as such during that process. Because look at them in the grass too. And you see the cat popping up again. It's like you were a lion conditioned to be a sheep. You were a lion conditioned to be a sheep. I love how the Six of Wands came out first because that's Jupiter and Leo, and Jupiter speaks of you seeking your truth through self-knowledge, through your own journey. You have to see the enough is enough in order for you to really gain this victory and success, this abundance. Because you really wouldn't be able to enjoy it without it. That's that duality. It's like you don't know what unconditional love is without experiencing the conditional love. Only to realize it wasn't even supposed to be there. Now that's the higher vibration. Was like we wasn't even supposed to be doing it to begin with. But since we here, the game of life and how to play it, this is what we doing. Shout out to Florence Scovel-Shine. Look at that, 4 wands. You see all that? You see all of that solar plexus? You have to trust your instincts. So this is an opportunity that you're being given that is like what's for you would never miss you. Now, the only thing about that, what's for you would never miss you, this could also be another lifetime. And with Uranus, North Node, Mars in conjunction in the sign of Taurus, last time that happened was 2,300 years ago when Alexander the Great was around him. Yeah. No. Kind of like in the dreams. Wow. Hathor. Ooh. That's a whole legacy you just opened up. An entire legacy you just opened up right there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's the truth. Come on now. Clarify the Six of Cups under the High Priestess. Some of you, like myself, you used to love watching Matilda or any of these mystical movies. That was your thing. Look, I'm telling you, there's a reconciliation, and then you got the Two of Wands from something that you in the past you were at a crossroads with what it is that you're about to reconcile with. So this could even be yourself, because this is Mercury. You was at a crossroads with your own thoughts and the actions that you were taking based on your own thoughts. And now you're having this reconciliation with your solar plexus. This is giving me sacred. You having this reconciliation of what has been able to have power over you, which will disconnect you from chakras above the 7th. Okay. And now you're living from cause and effect. You're allowing and experiencing gratitude. Even moments of discomfort or challenges, you're allowing it, growing pains, and expressing gratitude for those growing pains. Because the pain that you went through is equivalent to what it is that you're going to be grateful for. Especially for those of you who, when you go into nature and you find yourself at the pond, like my ass, looking at fish and just start crying and shit. Yeah. Yep. Yep. It's a tough life for a tadpole. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's a very tough life for tadpole. We really, there's so much that goes on in nature, and I feel it has a lot to do with the energy of humanity as creators that sends off that frequency, where now there's this particular food chain, because the higher you get in frequency, the less you're going to want food. Just saying. That's how you know you're on a whole nother path, where you're sitting in the sun, the breeze touching your skin, and the sun just beaming on you is filling you up because of the gratitude. That's obviously not everybody, not yet. You know, look at that. Only I'm telling you, my behind be over here with the cashews and raisins, and I'll be like, I'm good. Yeah, those lentils in there sometimes. Snish. Okay. So look at this. The magicians, as above, so look at this. Look at this. And I know you see the serpent. That's what I meant. Picking up the tail. And now you're picking up the tail and putting it to use. That's the whole point of the South Node with the North Node. You don't want to live in your past life, but there are tools that you can use from your past life and this life to bring balance to it. Which is why the North Node and the South Node, those signs are always polar opposites. So if you're a North Node Aries, your South Node is going to be Libra. If it's Taurus, the South Node is going to be Scorpio. Gemini, the South Node is going to be Sag. Cancer, the South Node is going to be Capricorn. Leo, the South Node is going to be Aquarius. North Node Virgo, the South Node is going to be Pisces, and vice versa. Let me see what else comes out here with this. Everybody give me $1. I'm just joking. Look at this. Look at this. Look. See, you was afraid to walk with yourself. Now your hand all in you. I mean, it's right there. It's right there. You and that lion within you. You don't. If the dog bark at you, you're not gonna look back. What lion look back when a dog bark, or what eagle sit there and fights a pigeon? Cannot make this up. This is source. Oh. There it is. Emotional fulfillment of the balance of what? That inner child. This entire picture is the divine feminine and the masculine within yourself. Because this has to do with Mars and Pisces. The use and action of your willpower when it comes to what it is that you have faith in. And it better be yourself first. And it's through those experiences that nudge you into this full journey to jump off and decide to realize what your faith is. Not what you were taught, but what you came here to experience based on your makeup and connection to the cosmos. Yeah. That's why this Ace of Pentacles is here. Let's get 3 more cards for the bottom row. Look at that. Pisces here at the bottom of the deck. As I split the deck, which speaks of faith. Eagle stands there. The eagle no eagle was gonna sit there and fight no pigeon. The pigeon stay out the way. The pigeons, stay out the way, okay? The pigeons, listen, they are messengers too. Like Dr. B said, they do eat whatever now. So, but hey, they got look at the death card that fell right on top of the chariot. See, it fell on top of the chariot because the way the chariot is looking, the strength card, she was like, you really avoiding this transformation that's going to happen regardless. You really avoided what's going to happen regardless. But when it happens, you're going to be like, oh, that wasn't so bad. No, it never was. Your procrastination was making it what you thought was bad. Look at that. 2 of Wands, red. Let me see. I'm telling, it's like either it doesn't matter which way you go. You got your guides and your ancestors looking at you like you really just gonna stand there. That feels like Jupiter and Saturn. That feels like all these planets in retrograde are doing their thing. Telling you, come on. They're helping you with decisions that you're making within and taking action. And again, these wands in this deck, they have the South Node symbol at the top of them. Let's see why is this here? Why is the death card here in reverse? Some of you were even protected from catastrophes through this change in direction that you thought was unfair. Something was being protected so you didn't sabotage it. Why is the death card here in reverse? Why is the death card here in reverse? That was the justice card that didn't want to come out. There was a lack of balance or avoiding. Balance could have something to do with judgment too. What's this? Ooh, move, I'm telling you. So it's like you're not gonna move, I'm gonna make you move anyway. I don't care how long you take, you still gonna do it. I don't care how long you take, you still gonna do it. Because some of you thought that, like I said, some of you thought the path that you was going had something to do with deception. Look at that. These 2 cards are Mercury. And Mercury has to do with messenger of the gods. And I feel like Anubis had to come down here and send one of your ancestors on the other side into your dream state, or somebody that you talk to outside, reminding you of somebody that you know. You see somebody's name that you really hold near and dear to your heart, reminding you, get your ass up and do what you're supposed to do, like that chariot saying, let's go. I know that was not the 5 of Swords. It looked like it. Because all of those would have something to do with Aquarius. Then look at the Justice card come out now. You wasn't going, either way you went with, it was a win-win outcome that was forecast. Okay? It's going to be a win-win outcome that was forecast. Look at this. Look at this. Look what's under there. And there go the 10 of Cups under there. Yeah. 2 of Wands, the Sun card, and then you got the 10 of Cups. Speaking of emotional fulfillment, trusting the signs, trusting the synchronicities. This is also about you making sure that the ego is in service of the soul, so that you can truly connect to your willpower, which direction the guidance is taking you with all this Mercury energy you got going on here. Then you got the Tower. That's just screaming you was going to do this anyway. And this, what I'm talking about, is this move forward. It was like, okay. So it's just like, I'm going to let you rock out. I'm going to let you think you Do whatever you could do. You do what you want. You can delay this as much as you want to. It's 1:44:56 on the timer. You can delay this as much as you want. But when it's time to shift, I don't want to hear nada, nothing, because you're going. Whether you're ready or not, here I come. You cannot hide. And the first thing he said to the girl, that's your favorite card. That would be though. That's your polar opposite. That's just your reminder letting you know the tower is the galactic center. The tower is the galactic center. That's Ophiuchus energy. The tower speaks of healing thyself. When you see that tower, that's just, I feel like now 1:45:45 is basically letting you know you've done what you had to do when it comes to the changes as far as the guidance comes from source. Even if you didn't realize that this is what you were doing, thank you, my love. Even if you didn't realize this is what you was doing, you was doing it. They put you through so many different obstacles and challenges, not to hurt you, although situations may have come across as such. But it's giving me this vibe where either way, there were certain things that were destined on your path to get you to a fated point, right? Now, the family that you're born into is your first destiny because this is where certain values are instilled, right? Until you decide to go through a particular experience and you start asking questions and shit. Like, what we doing? Let's see what comes up next. It's great to see y'all. Listen, what's next here? What's coming up under the chariot with the 9 of Wands? This is also giving me the energy of clearing out a lot of karmic debt, you know. Mm-hmm. You had your task cut out for you. Yeah. 3 of Pentacles. This is Mars again. Speaking of having your work cut out for you. What are you going to do when these obstacles and challenges present themselves to you? This one over here says, perfect my craft. Let's see what the 3 of Pentacles look. The perfect the craft. Look at this here. Are you shitting me? Okay, who? This is some world-renowned energy. Like, forget everybody in the world or on this planet knowing you. The galaxies know you. There's people coming from the galaxies, other galaxies here to shapeshift just to see you. Judgment, the star, and the wheel of fortune. Yo, congratulations. Another thing I'm seeing here with this death card coming out in reverse with the 3 of Pentacles, because this is Pluto. A lot of you have completed this process of initiation, as we see here with this rune, which speaks of the beginning and end are set. What's in between is yours. The part that you're, look at this. The wheel of fortune, the star, and judgment. This is somebody answering their calling. And the moment that you answer that calling, everything in front of you aligns itself. It's almost like a miracle. Not almost like a miracle. This is what a miracle looks like. Thank you. Okay. I claim this energy. You got me messed up. Look at this. For some of you, there's love coming in. This is what the tower moment is. Some of you are gonna have options now. Some of you gonna have options. Or the tower moment is that you connect with someone that empowers you and uplifts you because what they are balanced within themselves. These are polar opposites as well. So there's a reason why we was picking up that energy of that 180. This is You went around to come across and back, but this back is basically grabbing your tail, connecting your entire being, that dragon that you are, and you're just flowing through whatever you want to flow through. You got a great handle now on the manipulation of cause and effect with this room here. Past life, healer, divine intervention, which is that Wheel of Fortune card. And then we have here this rune, which speaks of stagnation due to surrounding energy. So you had to go through these experiences just so you can get well acquainted with what it is that could stagnate you, so that way when you get to this space of this judgment card, where y'all go, right here. So when you get to this energy of the Wheel of Fortune, judgment, and the star, you're not confused about what you have to do anymore. Because like it says here in this middle row, in the past you may have lacked a little confidence because there was a part of your inner child that still had some work to do. It's like you have to bring your inner child in here to this part of your journey. It's like you left the baby behind. You left the baby behind. That's why. But now you got the baby back. Now you got the baby back. Ten of Cups. Talking about a handle of cause and effect. The Hierophant, you think the magician got power? No, that Hierophant got the keys to make this change. The magician got it too, but the magician got more of the tools. The Hierophant got the tools and the keys to open up all these doors. So you're definitely out here. Some of you have a very strong connection, like I said, to the invisible world. That you've called on an energy from the invisible world, like Anubis, to help you with the part of you that was dead and bring it back to life. There's a specific part of you that was connected to your past that's necessary in this moment, but you had to go through a particular process to even be reminded as to what that is. And the moment it clicks, it's like you got the right key for the right hole. Push that door open. You right there. And it has, yeah. You see that stained glass with that Six of Cups energy? Speaking of Scorpio vibes, healing from all of these endings. Things have ended, but the wound was still open. Let me see. Tell me my Hierophant. Ooh, you got the Queen of Swords with the Knight of Pentacles. Let me get one more here. Libra, Taurus popping through here. Venus, core values, beauty, emotional security. Look at that shit. Temperance. I'm telling you. I mean, this whole time behind the scenes, your mind and your core values were literally being operated by the Most High. There had to be a moment where you had to work on things on your own. There was something that you had to work on your own. It's giving me the vibes of the suffering in silence, that it's going to give you power, because suffering in silence is Nine of Swords, Mars and Gemini. We're approaching Mars and Gemini. So you'll be able to use that as a power now, because you've been doing the work. And there'll be people who haven't been doing the work that's going to seek your assistance. Just be mindful to not put yourself into this type of energy. Okay? And this is giving me the vibes where you release burdens that are no longer yours. it's a vibe of return back to sender, but it's not in like that type of manner where it's like, oh, I'm sending this negative shit back to you. No, you're releasing burdens that aren't yours, that someone that you some of someone else's that you were carrying, and this is the way that they heal from you surrendering their burdens. So making that decision too, like no longer putting yourself in this vibe of, you know, of feeling like of feeling sadness or separated because of who you are. Some of you have a very strong mind, or you have a very strong character, and people can get easily um, intimidated by you. I love that post on IG. It's not that you're intimidating, people are intimidated by you, but it's because they have something within themselves that they have to heal, and that which they have to heal, more than likely you were carrying that burden, which means that if you're carrying the burden, there is no reason for them to even realize what that is, because they don't have it. They're not. It's not in their vicinity. They have nothing to do with it because it's not around them. It's not in them or nothing, because it's with you. But the moment you release that, here's what it's gonna be. Here's the final message. Hey, that's that return to sender with love, where you can literally, like, you understand now why certain things were the way they were, so that way you don't put yourself back into this self-sabotaging way of thinking, and you just live in your greatest life. What's the final message here? The Hangman. Ooh, okay. Let's see what's at the bottom here. Pisces energy. We got the Seven of Swords. Yeah. Yeah, this is giving me the vibe of what we were just talking about just now. You're releasing yourself from the burdens, from all of the chains here, from whatever it is that had you at a pause. It's like now you're going to be able to have this break, this moment of stillness, to really assess yourself in a much more enlightened way. I'm gonna get one more though. Whoa. Uh-huh. Four of Pentacles, which speaks of a legacy. You're only focused on what you can, what's yours. You know what I'm saying? You're only focusing on what's yours now. When it comes to, that aspect of burdens, look at that. 1244, you could be seeing 1244 a lot because you have a lot of angelic guidance around you to help you to cut certain things out that are not balanced. Because it's not for you. You're here to really enjoy this fruitful and abundant life. I'm gonna give one more though. Purple and green, the heart and the crown. Yeah, look at that. Judgment and the star. Decided to align with the life that you truly want, around those you truly want to be with, and not having any sorrow, pains, and regrets for those who cannot be there. Because everyone has the opportunity to heal themselves, to answer the calling, because that's what the chosen one is, the one who answers the calling. At the bottom of the deck, what you got? The Knight of Swords, rushing in quickly. So yeah, you can definitely still have some of these people from your past coming back, wanting to communicate. But you didn't go through these lessons and these cycles for no reason. And I feel like this has to do with the Mars and Gemini energy we was talking about. Ooh, Saturn. Yeah, some people's gonna be going through some karmic cycles here. Yeah, because they didn't experience these karmic cycles because you were the one holding on to the burden until you decided to trust what your intuition was letting you know, and what was blocking you from it. And victory and success is being this wounded warrior. This is what's in between your success right here, the wounded warrior. it's like rejecting. That's where that 947 came in at, rejecting the truth about what you know when it comes to the way you would love to expand in life, or what you would love to create, you know? Because energy is fluid now, you know what I'm saying? So if you have these ideas, you have to get, surround yourself with like-minded, like-hearted energy. You can't put a prosperous seed in soil that's not fertile, or won't allow it, or won't be the proper condition for it to grow and be what it's supposed to be. Like, you're not gonna grow an oak tree in your apartment. You're just not gonna do that. That also gives me a vibes of people who got, well, some of you, if you got huskies and you live somewhere that's hot, I'm gonna let you know right now, you low key foul for that. A husky and some heat, come on now. Even people with huskies in New York is like, these dogs love the cold. You know what I'm saying? So it's things like that. Like, and no offense to anybody that has a husky and you live somewhere that is warm, but I'm just saying, energy is fluid. So just be mindful of everything that you do, because that's also a way where people are feeding the flesh with a life and using it as a material thing, or even having a pit bull in an apartment. Like, you that baby better have some space to run whenever it wants to. That's why I love cats, although they shouldn't be domesticated. But see how they roll around, they do whatever they want to do, and don't get in their way. So you have decided to answer your calling. One, for some of you, it is the spiritual healer. And some of you, all of you, I feel like you're spiritual healers in everything that you do. And what I mean by that is, what you enjoy doing, it heals other people because you enjoy doing it. So when people get around you, they automatically have this feeling, this vibration where they feel empowered. This is the beauty of authenticity. The beauty of authenticity. I love you all. That is your message for this evening. I will see you tomorrow, though. I will see you tomorrow, okay? I see you mañana. Behave yourself. Talk to Gaia. Talk to the planet. Talk to all of the planets within you, outside of you. Allow yourself to be grateful. Because the more grateful we are and the more love we have in our hearts, the more the frequency will be able to flow around us. And that was another message from last night. A spiritual warrior has the most love, because that's why they're a spiritual warrior. They protect the essence of life, the essence of the breath, and everybody has that part of them within themselves. Everyone is a warrior for unconditional love. Because you'll sit there and you find yourself doing things for it, although it may not turn out that way. But you get to realize more and more of how much you really are for what this is, and this is unconditional love. So I love you.